Speak your truth, but speak it slant. Welcome to Speak It Slant, everybody. We are doing our podcast number 4 on magical worlds. So be ready to go into a different land of the unknown. My name's Terriann Walling. I'll be one of your co-hosts. I'm a poet and a person who does things and stuff. And that's where I'm at.
And I'm Nikola Ragus. I am the other co-host. I am just a avid fan of the poets and the poems and stuff like that. I'm also a musician, and that's what I am right now.
That's what I am right now. But later in the future, I can transport myself into a unicorn or into a fairy. Yeah. I can open all the magical doors. That's what we're going at. That's what we're looking at today. Today we're going to be talking about magical worlds, like I said, and we have a few poets that we're going to be reading their pieces. We have Lauren Sharhag. We have John Michael. Those are 2 Instagram poets. We'll put their names and their tags in the thing below. And then we're going to look at a couple classics. One by Christina Rossetti called The Goblin's Market, and I absolutely love it. It's a little bit long, but trust me, it's worth the ride. And then Nikola has chosen a piece by the amazing Romantic period poet John Keats that I don't even think I've read before. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. I'm also going to do a couple of my own pieces. And of course, we're going to do some pop-up poems.
That's it. Pop-up poems. Yeah, it's La Belle Dame. That's from John Keats. It's a ballad. So it's one of his magical worlds type of thing. So can't wait to get down with that.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. I do think we should start with a pop-up poem though. Like we can just make up a little world. Like, let's create a 2-stanza, 4-lined, each stanza poem. Do you think you can do that? About magical worlds? It's pretty long. That's
yeah,
like
that
8
sounds
lines.
long to me. That sounds
let's
long
do
to me,
4.
but I don't mind. Like it just just tell me when to stop.
Okay, so let's do 4. We'll do 4 lines, okay? And let's create a really cool world. So let's transport ourselves in our mind. We're gonna like go into our heads, and the first thing I'm gonna say the first line, and then you're gonna go after me, okay?
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Okay, so the dock of the boat extended into a horizon unknown.
The turquoise water had a deep purple tint inside of it.
And there in the turquoise water were the tails of 6 different mermaids.
On the horizon, you hear ships coming closer and closer to the mermaids. But the mermaids do not necessarily hear the ships.
Ooh, I think that's our 4 lines.
Yeah, that's good.
That's kind of beautiful. Like the mermaids are like, we're just here. We don't hear what's going on.
We don't really what's going on.
Whatever. Take our ship.
That's the war. Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah, that's it.
Take that ship out of here. I love it. High fives. High fives. We made a pop-up poem. We started with a beautiful
warm-up.
Yes, good warm-up. Also, it's super nice to see you because I haven't talked to you forever.
Yeah, it's true. It's been a while.
You are one of my favorite humans in the land. It's true. You are.
No, that's nice.
Even though sometimes I'm like a cranky jerk or a mischievous fairy. Okay, so I'm going to start.
What do you have there?
Oh, I have my new book. Yeah, so if you are listening on Spotify, we are also on YouTube. So you can kind of like get a visual of what's going on. And there's so much fun going on, you guys. Like,
yes.
I'm holding a book. I have what is this called?
Yeah,
a flower.
Flower crown?
A flower crown. I'm wearing a flower crown right now, but just for that one moment. It's gone. Okay, so my new book is called Forest Dweller. It's available on Amazon. It's only $14.99.
Congratulations. That's so amazing.
Thank you. I'm so happy about it. I've had a lot of really good reception from people, and so I'm very proud of it. But I'm going to read the first poem that's in the book. So it's kind of like an entry into Forest Dweller, because this is about magical lands, essentially, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so Forest
Exciting.
Dweller by me, Terriann Walling. That's the name of the book. The name of the poem is called Echoes of the Heart.
Okay.
Echoes of the Heart. To the world that doesn't hear me from the echoes of my heart, from deep within the forest, addressing what's been chalked apart. The monsters in the forest, the ones you know exist, wrap around the senses and they slide inside and twist. As I am from the forest folk, I hold a lot of wilds. It's my nature to defy order. Chaos does not favor the mild. I'm here to share a vision, transport you to a spot. The roots that I am standing on is the scene of a battle just fought.
Nice. Very well read. That's so cool. It's cool to hear it like that, you know, to hear it by the author, you know, and see the pacing. And, you know, when we don't even get that much of a chance on this show for that. So it's always good because we're the ones saying the people's poems, you know, we're the ones reading them out. So when we have that chance, it's kind of cool to hear as it is coming out of the author or the poet. Sorry, I don't know what you guys call yourselves.
We call ourselves mischief makers and crazy people.
That could be one way of going about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what else is a poet except for someone that just doesn't sleep, right?
Right. Exactly. Lack of sleep.
The lack of sleep, let's just call it.
That's what I am at this moment.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's
but we've
it.
talked about this. Sleep is irrelevant, although it's
Yes,
necessary.
absolutely.
It is irrelevant. Okay, I'm gonna do poem number one, and then Nicola's going to
Oh,
read the
okay.
second poem. Right? Is
Fantastic.
that cool? We're ready. We're
That's
like
cool with me. Yeah.
popping in.
Oh, I
Okay.
like it. That's great.
So Lauren Sharhag has sent me a piece, and she's an award-winning author of fiction and poetry, and she's a senior editor of Gleam. And her latest poetry collection is called Moonlight and Monsters, and it's now available at Nash and Teeth, Publishing, which is an amazing indie publishing company, which we will tag on here. But they're fantastic. Like
Yes.
I just love what they do. Their vibe is so cool. She also has This Ain't Those Sorrows Sweet coming out soon, and Screaming Intensifies. And she is an American. She lives in Kansas City. So her
Okay.
piece is called Little Brown Changeling, and it's
Wow.
for Otter.
I just want to say that Moonlight and Monsters title is an excellent title for a book. Just want to
Right?
slide that in there. Sorry.
No, I love that you split that in there, like Moonlight and Monsters. Ah, can you imagine? I can just picture the moonlight and all the monsters in it creeping around,
For
right?
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
It's already
Okay.
making a magical world already.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
right? Moonlight and Monsters. And like, oh, like we could talk about that title for 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go into our mermaid land from before, Tom. Sit on the
That's
ship
it.
and
That's
talk
it.
about the title
I
as
love
we
it.
look up at the moonlight and the monsters. Okay, so Little Brown Changeling and this is for Otter. Ooh, I already like it. I like the shape of the poem. I found a tiny creature in the vacant lot beside an abandoned hotel. I thought it was a kitten. It was kitten shaped and mewing, and I searched the dry July weeds for a mother cat or litter mates, but found none. The creature was all alone, so I took it home. Having no money for a veterinarian, I asked a farmer friend with a colony of barn cats to come have a look. She agreed that it was indeed kitten shaped. No mites, no fleas, just a little brown bag of bones, barely 3 weeks old, fur brittle and falling out from lack of nutrition. I now know that she should have been bottle fed. I know now that I did literally everything wrong. All I had to feed her was dry kibble. I wetted it down to soften it for her milk teeth. She gobbled it all up and wanted more. When I could afford a vet, he agreed that she was definitely kitten shaped. And we scheduled an appointment to get her spayed. When she peed under my bed, I asked her not to do it again. She listened very seriously and honored my wishes. And then when I gave her her first bath in the sink, her paws grew webbed and powerful, and her fur grew sleek. Her pipe cleaner tail thickened into one more suitable for aquatic population. I'm getting that word wrong. And just like that, she was a baby otter. We had all suspected she wasn't really a cat. Or if she was a cat, she was an absolutely singular feline. The other cats made it clear she was not of their ilk. And I will never forget how joyfully she splashed and frolicked in the water. For a time, her favorite form was a bat. Around and around the apartment, she sailed down brown wings, whipping around corners to startle us, tiny fangs glistening as she laughed. She never grew very big, 5 pounds for most of her life. Despite my meager ministrations, our little foundling thrived. Her fur became burnished and downy soft. Then came her owl phase, golden eyes blinking in the darkness, rotating her tiny bird head to smile at us. I still have a brown feather from those years. When she was frightened, she would become a brown crab with a pie crust carapace, scuttling sideways, pincers clicking defensively. And when she was feeling guilty, she'd move in a strange, humpbacked shuffle, eyes paling to yellow, a hyena. If you dropped her in a barrel full of regular crabs or a crackle of hyenas, I still would have known her. Her distinct vocalizations were always the same, regardless of shape. She shrilled and cooed, and when she was happy, snorted and chuffed. And when she was annoyed, chittered to demand treats. And at night, she became a little brown dormouse, snoring in her blanket nest. I saw her become a rat, a buzzard, a monkey, a raccoon, a salamander. Her body would lengthen itself into serpentine form, and we'd have a tiny dragon on our hands, belching tiny flames like a scaly brown Zippo. In the water, she liked to be a mermaid. Though more of the Fiji variety than H.C. Andersen, with her mashed-in face and sargasso hair, she was a sphinx, a fairy, an elf, a manitor, a banshee, a gargoyle, a squinty-eyed gremlin, a goblin, a gizmo, a golem, the world's smallest Wookiee. Whatever the hell Grogu is and Salacious Bee, Crumb, she was the rarest of beasts. And like all fantastic pets, the day came all too soon for a little brown changeling to leave us and go back to her realm for good. One final transformation, one final conflagration, and in a little brown urn, we keep her phoenix ashes. Sometimes I still hear her singing, and sometimes she visits me in my dreams, and there at last she shows me her true face.
Oh, it's very good. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I absolutely love it. When I first, so she sent me 2 poems, Nicola,
Okay.
and one was more prosy than this.
Really?
And so
Okay.
so I like more like a more prose piece. And so I chose this one. I didn't read through it all, but I
Mhm.
chose it from some of the structures. So I kind of like read
Right.
it a little bit cold because I like doing that because it gives me a thrill to be able to like experience it and read it as I'm going through it. But this is a pet in ways, right? These animals that come into our lives, and they are all these beautiful, wonderful, magical creatures.
Totally. Like it's just yeah, the transformations of the animals and stuff and such like I like how she just brings a lot of those things together and also like the modernization of it. Like I thought she was at the beginning like more what's the word, classically minded in how she's describing the story and then
Mhm.
putting in more and more common um things that we all kind of recognize, like Wookiee and and then adding Zippo there. I like how there's this gradual like transformation as well within the whole entire story of the world. Like it's just ever so evolving.
Absolutely. I
It's
am
really
wondering if
cool.
I missed a chunk of this at the end because I do have like a bunch of other stuff written underneath there. I don't know if it's a part of the poetry. It just goes against the rhyme scheme. So I'm gonna just stop it
Yeah,
at
maybe
she
it's something
shows
else.
me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop it at she shows me her true face. And Lauren, honestly, if I mess this up,
Oh,
I will
don't
come back
worry.
and redo that last little
Yeah,
bit. But
we'll redo it again. No
absolutely,
problem. No
I
problem.
love that, like this idea of all these different types of mythological creatures, right? The
Hmm.
mashed in face of a Sargasso hare. She was a sphinx, a fairy, an elf, and like the differences between mermaids, which is true, right?
Hmm.
Mermaids are in many different folklore, and we get like,
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
um, yeah, we she's very specific about what kind of mermaid this cat was, which is really
Uh-huh.
I love that's one of my favorite ones actually, is like she had the shape of a cat.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
shaping and describing more of what those things are, so that it kind of paints the picture of the
That's
poem
beautiful.
itself.
I
So
appreciate
beautiful.
you sharing that, Lauren. And if I
Thanks so much, Lauren.
messed up the end and left something out, just make sure you tell me. Actually, I can go back in and look, and then I'll know, and I'll be like, "Oh my God, I screwed this up," but that's
Oh, then
okay.
well, that's okay. It's completely
Um,
fine.
do you know
It was
what?
lovely. What?
Um, I was wondering about your favorite mythological creature.
Oh, mythological creatures. I would say probably because maybe the griffin,
The griffin. Okay.
maybe a
That's okay.
griffin, maybe a griffin, the half man, half bird, or half
Oh, are
horse.
they?
It's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's like a
with the Y.
bird.
It's like yeah, it's like Griffon, but then there's also the one with the Y,
Yeah,
Gryefe.
griffins. Griffins. They are a bird. Like, oh, that's not the same as no. Okay, I'm thinking all these half humans, half animals, like the sphinx or
Oh,
the harpy or all those
right.
different
That
things.
is half human too, though. The griffin is a. Well, I think it is. No, it's half. There is no human
It's a
element.
bird and a lion
A bird and a lion. That is
or
correct.
something like
I
that.
think so. Yeah.
That's your favorite, a griffin?
Yeah, I think so.
Gryffindor. 5 points for
Gryffindor.
you.
5 points,
Five,
10 points, 15
10 points for
points.
Gryffindor. What's
Points
your
where the
Harry
points
Potter?
mean
Like, what's your
everything.
Harry Potter house? Sorry, I know I'm like going off. It'll be like 1 minute
Maybe
of this. Where
Slytherin. Maybe Slytherin.
Slytherin.
Maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
Really? Come
Maybe.
to us, Harry.
Or Hufflepuff. Is there a Hufflepuff? I don't
Hufflepuff,
remember.
you went from a Slytherin to Hufflepuff?
I don't know.
Really?
It's just I've only read a little bits of the books. I
Okay,
neglected them.
so really briefly and in like 1 minute so that we can go back to poetry.
Yeah.
Like Gryffindor is like the one that Harry Potter's in, and it's like I
Okay.
think it's about like courage and bravery and stuff like that. And
Oh,
then Ravenclaw is about like studiousness and intelligence, I guess, that kind of thing.
okay.
Hufflepuff is like I don't even really know, but I think they're like caring. I feel like every
Yeah,
Harry
it sounds
Potter
like
person in the
that.
world
I've
right
seen all
now
the
is gonna
films.
murder me. And then Slytherin is, they're slithery and snakish, but wise. And like they all, the houses have good qualities and they also have not great qualities. Just like,
Mhm.
reality. You should do the Pottermore quiz. That's like the one that tells you what house.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so
There's an actual
cool.
quiz.
Actually, you get to pick like an animal that you would like, and it's fun.
Ah,
Anyway, magical
interesting.
worlds.
Back
Magical
to
worlds
magical worlds.
of
That's
Harry
so cool.
Potter, right? This
Yeah, it's
works because
true.
we are talking about magical worlds. So, should
It's
we
true.
do a little pop-up poem to like kind of tie in what we just, thought about in this
Okay.
piece? And you can start. Do we keep it connected to the last one or we just go like willy-nilly?
We can try willy-nilly, but if it falls into place, then to
Okay.
the previous one, that's fine too. But
I like what you're saying. I like what you're
yeah,
putting down. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
yeah, there we go. Let's see here. So, oh,
Anything that pops in your mind.
as
And
this, yes, no problem.
sorry.
So, okay, as the sun sets on the island,
As the sun sets on the island.
yeah,
As the sun sets on the island over the horizon, the boat screeches and the mermaids hear.
echoes go through the forest. Wait, sorry. Echoes go through the island forest.
And hit a bunch of centaurs in the heart. That's it. And I don't know what hits them, just the echoes. And the centaurs are like, I feel
I
like
feel this.
I've been hit in the heart with something. Apparently they
Yeah.
have accents.
Oh my God, yeah, they felt a disturbance.
I felt a disturbance in the
Mm.
forest.
Another magical world. Another magical world. Is it like the whole thing, everything's a poem? Is everything a magical world, I guess?
Everything's a what?
everything's a magical world, I guess.
I know, but what'd you say before that?
Oh, everything's a poem.
Everything's a, I thought
That's
you were
a
talking about
callback
everything's a
to
drum.
episode one.
Oh
Yes.
gosh, yes, everything is a poem. We've had some great conversations on this.
Yes,
My
absolutely.
friend Tessa, I'm just dropping your name, Tess, because I know you're listening. She's like, I really love listening to your guys' podcast. I just listened to it in the car. And I'm like,
Nice.
dude, thank you.
Yeah, seriously,
Thank you. I
thanks.
really like that. Okay, so I'll give a little synopsis of the next person. If you, Nicola, are good reading his piece.
Yeah, of
So
course.
John Michael is a poet on Instagram and like fairly new from what I know. We talk and he's been on my live that I do on Thursdays and
Okay.
fantastic human in general. So he's a Virginia-based poet and a writer who grew up in Boston, and he began to write at an early age as part of a like therapeutic thing to help him, which I think a lot
Mm,
of us do, right? But
mhm.
he didn't start sharing his work, Nicola. This is the thing, until just recently. And so we're getting his like,
Oh.
yeah, right. And so I'm really excited that we get to share a piece of his work because he's finally exposing himself and like putting himself out into this fragile world of um, you know, poetry and
Mm.
being vulnerable in that space. And I think the poetry community is really happy to, take in new poets. I myself was a new poet at one point, and so we're going to read his piece. So he writes through reflection, a kind of heart's perspective.
Oh,
Used
okay.
and he thinks about pain and fear and self-doubt. So Nicola's going to read his piece of poetry and talk about the title and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to listen.
Yeah, fantastic. So this is, I think, as it's titled here, Magical Worlds. So it's pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah, there we go. The many magical worlds we create in tragedy, from trauma, pain, self-doubt, comes our own welcome misery. Developing such wicked fantasies keep us safe in our letters and rhymes. These riddles are only hopes to leave such damage behind. Broken pieces for wish to find solace, but memories behind us leave stains. Time never, time never to replace them. They hang in dusty flames. Demons painted on faded hallways, hauntings, terrors, and shadows. Searching for solace once more into this maze within my mind. Down this old wooden ladder, it cracks and creaks, yet I climb into the depths of what's left inside this old and tortured mind. Now, there, I see the elephants. They're blowing the biggest balloons. The devil is laughing inside them, stirring echoes that soon become doom with stained glass centipedes. From the frog's mouth of freedom, they fly, while fishermen are casting lines, catching nothing but rusty lies. Past the pond of smoldering fire, where the demons are catching rays, I also see the angels. In the whispers of past, they say, for you, my son, are a pollinator, giving birth to words you create from those letters you make, the seeds, blooming thoughts, and others to take. For when these worlds, written worlds, are magic, giving wonder to so many eyes, our only prayer, our son, is that you continue to search inside.
Ah,
Okay, that is pretty nice.
wow. I think what he's done here is really beautiful. Like he's talking about how trauma becomes creativity, essentially.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in any form that it comes into, but for him specifically poetry.
Mm-hmm.
For me specifically poetry, for you music, I think, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for other friends of ours, art. Um,
Oh, yeah, 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 totally.
Humans need to express themselves through creativity, and quite often, I think the pieces absolutely come from trauma, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's some really good lines in there. There, I like, okay, I love the elephant insertion. Now there I see the elephants, they are blowing the biggest balloons. You know, the
Mm,
devil is laughing inside them. So the devil, I imagine these elephants just like, and this is the good thing about these magical worlds, and this is
mm,
absolutely my favorite topic, to be honest with you,
mhm.
is that the imagery, right? So we can imagine this elephant blowing balloons, and inside there's a devil just like ha ha ha, laughing as the echoes stir throughout it, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. There's a lot of that going on. I really like the just how again establishing the world itself, like really, and then
Mm,
following through on things. I like how um he sort of paints all of that one after the other, and it brings I don't know, I just find it's an excellent type of technique. There's in poetry, like I said, there's some poems and types of poetry that are just um specific topics, but when you're dealing with magical worlds, you have everything really in a way. And so just trying to establish something, it takes a lot
mhm.
of grit, and like it's just a skill. You can see it's there.
Yeah, I like that this world has like a maze in it.
Yeah, the maze is pretty
There's a
cool.
maze in this world, and
Yeah.
ladders that creak and crack and broken pieces that kind of put together the solace of the damaged soul. You know,
Yeah.
it's just in the wicked fantasies that they're trying to keep safe. And in the end, there's like an outside insertion into the world saying, "I just want you to be happy," right? Like
Right.
I
Yeah.
can't, I need you. You are important. You are a pollinator of words. You're giving birth to those things and creating different worlds, you know,
Hmm.
and it's like a show of outside love for people that create. Do you know what I mean? Like I see
Hmm.
you.
Hmm.
Um, beautiful piece.
Beautiful piece. And I love the introductions of animals, and then how
Hmm.
they're kind of intertwining with this new reality that he's creating.
Yeah. I thank you,
Incredible.
John Michael, for sharing that piece. He was like so humble about it. He's like, are you okay? And I'm like, this is beautiful. Like
For
you
sure.
have written something lovely and beautiful. And I'm so glad, honestly, like that you have decided to share your work. And I can only see you going up from here, like just growing and, you know, becoming even more the poet that you are. And
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
idea, Nicola.
Okay.
um,
Yep.
so I had Christina Rossetti's Goblin Market, which I really
Yes.
love, but it's very, 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 very long. And
Yeah.
I got in and I love it.
Yeah.
Um, and I got into my mind doing a poem by Coleridge, Samuel Taylor Coleridge.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a
Okay.
romantic period poet who he wrote, oh my God, this poem called Kubla Khan. Have you heard
Okay.
about that?
No, but
Kubla
I know of the
Khan.
name, I know of the cons, yes.
Oh, it gives me like shivers thinking about it, right? And so I might take that on instead of
Okay.
my Christina Rossetti
That's fine.
because
We can always tackle that in another episode.
yeah, I just absolutely love her. But again, this
Yep.
is we're going in for the long haul with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful poem. But I think I will do a Coleridge poem. So for
Okay.
anyone that doesn't know, Samuel Coleridge was one of the Romantic period poets, um, who, you know, kind of grabbed onto nature and the idea of self, I guess, is what I can say about that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Um,
Interesting.
and you're doing Keats too, so we're going romantics here, I think is what it
Yeah.
is.
Can't go
Like
wrong with that.
you cannot go wrong with the romantics.
Yeah.
Um, and people always think that romantics means like, I don't know, like that new fairy porn that everyone's reading right now. But it's
Oh,
like they think
okay.
romantic and they think about like this like Harlequin romance. But
Sure.
it's like
Yeah.
the idea of romanticism is around the idea of like actually looking into nature and finding self and so forth, right? But this piece is so goddamn good. Have
Mhm.
you read it before, Nicola?
No, I have not.
Okay,
That's why
like
I'm
you are
anticipating it.
in for a ride. So hold
Cool.
on tight. You're going into
Holding on.
Kubla Khan. You might want to pull it up so you can read it too. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do
yeah,
here.
so this is called Kubla Khan. And then there was actually, so there's a lot of stuff in here that was made into like pop culture things. I think in like the 80s, there's a movie called Xanadu from what
Mhm.
my brother told me, or my mom or someone, like a roller skating movie called Xanadu. And Xanadu was made up by Samuel Coleridge. I think there's probably way more connection to it, and I'm
Wow.
probably getting everything wrong, and that's
Okay.
okay.
That's okay.
Um, but he, like, I know that Xanadu was mentioned in this, and I think it might have been one of his things because sometimes poets just make up words. You know what I
Ah,
mean?
yeah.
Um, I mean Shakespeare, he made up bazillions of words, and here we have them in our language now.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
Kubla
Exactly.
Khan by Samuel Coleridge. Man, I wish I could just like hang out with this dude.
For
Anyway,
sure.
like what was he doing? I think he did a bunch of opium because opium was a thing back then.
Yeah, that opium, it's a hell of a drug.
Was it a thing back in that time period, or am I getting
I think
mixed up with a
so.
little bit
I think in
China?
the Middle East and different places all over East in Asia, they did that, I think. But
Well,
again,
everyone's doing
could be
drugs all the
wrong.
time, right? So what was the
Yeah,
drug of the time period? Like I
that's
think that
true.
well, there are like if it's not alcohol, it's going to be like some kind of poppies or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like a
What can
flower
I do
that
to?
people
I'm
are,
gonna lick it. I'm gonna lick a frog. Like
that's it,
people are like,
yeah.
how can I escape this world?
Mm,
Let me lick a frog
exactly.
or eat a poppy or almost like die from this poison flower that, whoa, I got really high. Like,
That's it, exactly.
this is the human condition, people.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God, right? Okay,
Let
so
me eat these
Kubla Khan.
mushrooms.
Oh my God, mushrooms. But mushrooms are still a thing. I think people are still into mushrooms.
Yes, I think so.
Microdosing's a thing now.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, like I haven't done it, but like a friend of mine, she's like, we are about to play soccer. She's like, I microdosed mushrooms. I'm like, before a soccer game? I was like, okay. I'm interested. I don't understand because like when I think of taking mushrooms, I think I'm going to go into the forest. I'm going to eat a bunch of mushrooms. I'm going to write poetry and pretend I'm a fairy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and jump into the sky. Yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
just like jump into water, or like whatever you do when you're on hallucinogenics in a forest. Because I always want to be in a forest if I might do that. So I don't understand like microdosing. That's all I'm saying.
Mm, mm.
Okay, let's enter Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Kubla Khan by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Or a vision in a dream, a fragment. In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, where Elf the sacred river ran through caverns measureless to man, down to a sunless sea. So twice 5 miles of fertile ground, with walls and towers were girdled round, and there were gardens bright with cineous rills, where blossomed many an increase-bearing tree. And here were forests ancient as the hills, enfolding sunny spots of greenery. But oh, that deep romantic chasm which slanted down the green hill athwart a cedar cover, a savage place, as holy and enchanted as air beneath a waning moon was haunted by women wailing for her demon lover, and from this chasm with ceaseless turmoil seething, as if this earth in fast thick pants were breathing. A mighty fountain momentarily was forced, amid whose swift half interment burst, huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail, or or chafy grains beneath threshers fail, and mid those dancing rocks at once and over. It flung up momentarily the sacred river, 5 miles meandering with amazing motion through wood and dale, the sacred river ran, then reached the caverns measureless to man, and sank in tumult to a lifeless ocean. And mid the tumult, Kubla heard from far ancestral voices prophesizing war. The shadow of the dome of pleasure floated midway on the waves, where was heard the mingled measure from the fountain in the caves. It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. A damsel with a dulcimer in a vision once I saw. It was Abyssinian maid, and on her dulcimer she played, singing of Mount Abora. Could I revive within me her symphony and song? To such a deep delight, 'twould win me, that with music loud and long, I would build that dome and air, that sunny dome, those caves of ice, and all who hear should see them there. All should cry, beware, beware, her flashing eyes, his floating hair, his flashing eyes, his floating hair. Weave a circle around him thrice, and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honey dew hath fed and drunk the milk of paradise. Give me your thoughts, my
Yeah,
friend.
that's very cool. Like, what a great, I never even heard about that, and about that poem about Kublai, and
What
I
do
mean
you know
Kubla
about
Khan, not
Kubla
Kublai,
Khan?
but not Kublai, but Kubla, yeah, Kublai. Like, there's the Khan family, but like there's also a series called Marco Polo that's very good that talks about Kublai Khan, the son of Genghis Khan, I think, when he
Yeah,
took
he was a
over.
Mongolian general, right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
it's like
So
he's going like aren't like half the world like impregnated by this person or something? Is that a thing?
there's something along those lines. Yes, yeah.
Right? And so
So
like I don't because
yeah.
Genghis Khan,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Was the
that's the premio. That's no, yeah. Genghis Khan was the start,
right, yes, yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
then the Khan lineage moved on quite a little bit, and then it slowly, fell apart and stuff like that because of trade and Marco Polo and other stuff in the future beyond that. And yeah, it's very interesting. It's just I never knew that there was a whole
Home?
literature universe and poem about that. Like I never knew there was offsets in modern, well, not modern culture, but like Coleridge,
These
how
were
long
magic
in the
period.
Romantic period. So that's like whatever, like over some like 100 some odd years ago or more.
Oh, it was
And
the like 1700s, was it not?
so yeah, so 300. So there you go, like 300 years. My math is not very good.
There's some
Um,
really great lines in here,
okay.
though. The shadow of the dome of pleasure. Like it gets all like kind of like sexy, right? I drunk the
Mm,
milk of paradise. And then he says, there's that woman wailing for her demon lover, right? Like I
okay.
just imagine this woman and like it is a magical world here. He's
It
created
is.
around a real historical person, right?
Yeah. They've taken history and then turned it into
Mhm.
this poem with a lot of magic, a lot of like what's the word called? A lot of magical motives, like a lot of like yeah, I can't remember the word exactly, but that's okay. But like
I
it's
was
just
just thinking you were
magical.
gonna say magic carpet ride. I don't know why.
Uh, it's like Aladdin. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Come with me to magic. What is that song? Like I'm
Oh, I
singing.
don't know it. Oh my God, I'm so
There's like
tired.
a
I don't
magic carpet
remember.
ride song. Like, why don't you like Jefferson Airplane or something from a very long time ago? Why
Oh,
don't you take me on a magic carpet ride? Something
oh
like
yeah,
that.
that one. Yeah, that's true.
Take me down, shimmer. Okay, I'm not a
I can't
singer.
do the guitar solo. I can't. I don't know
You
what
are a
it is.
singer. You could probably do it.
Yeah, but I just can't remember it. Like, I don't want to sing something that's
See,
completely
I
not
don't
different.
know, but dun, dun,
Oh
dun.
yeah.
Why don't you
Oh
come with
man.
me, little girl, on a
On a
magic
magic
carpet
carpet
ride?
ride. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh my God, that's such an old tune. I haven't heard that tune in
I know it's the
forever.
first time I thought about it in like since I was I don't know even when,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
but a very long time.
very long time. It's true. Oh,
Oh
it's so
well,
cool. I loved it. That's such a great switcheroo. You did a little
I did a little
change.
switcheroo. I
Yeah.
have my Christina Rossetti book here. So I actually have like an antique book that I got in San
Oh,
Francisco for way more money than I probably could ever afford. But if I'm going to spend money on anything, it should be on a beautiful book. And so like I'm going to show you the book because you're sitting here,
sure.
but look at this book. Can you see it?
Oh wow.
It's old. It
Okay.
has like a write up in it and everything. It gets me so excited. Like I love this book. So like
Looks so cool.
it was one of the limited edition books and it was in the library of someone's. And so it gives you all this information because I got it from the net. So I'm getting so excited. I'm speaking so fast. From like an antique bookstore that you can go buy a book from. And it
Okay.
also has like the plates in there of the images of paintings that were made for this.
Oh,
Anyway, I
that's
have
so
it here
cool.
in the future.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
talk about
I don't know, can
books.
you like see like how beautiful this is? Like, look.
Oh
And
my
they're
God.
originals. This is originals. This is original. Like,
Wow. That,
I mean, smell the book.
wow.
Oh, it smells old and amazing. I'm so
Yeah, I'm
happy
sure
with
it
this
does.
book.
I'm sure it
It
does.
does. I don't know what smells better, old books or new books, but both of
Uh,
them smell really good. What's
There
your
we go.
favorite?
Used books, so I would say old books, yeah,
So like you walk into an
100%.
old, okay, cool. What do you
Yeah,
like
like a
about
used bookstore and stuff like that,
it?
Not that it's been used, that's been taken care of, because they also like select,
Like how
you
you
know,
just English it. It's not exactly used. It's been kind of taken care
no,
of.
yeah, it's just been taken care of. So,
You
you
like the
know,
smell of you like the smell of used books that have been taken care of,
that's
not
that's
used
that's
books that are
correct.
like mushy and gross.
No, no. Oh, the mushy, that's probably the worst smelling type of thing is a mushy book that hasn't been taken care of, and then somehow the store decided that they're still going to sell it.
Oh my God.
Yikes.
It's just got a big coffee stain on it. And,
Oh
oh
yeah.
well.
Like the biggest coffee stain. It's like a pitcher of coffee was just thrown on it.
You're like, that's not the book for me. We need a
No.
whole other bookstore for these kind of books so that we
Yeah.
have a different book smell.
Oh yeah.
New book
That's
smell,
called
old book
mold.
smell,
That's called mold.
moldy book smell.
Moldy book smell. No thanks. Take my money, please.
Oh my God, you're hilarious. Okay.
Mm.
Um, what's your next? Oh, let's do a
Oh
puppet
yeah.
one.
Okay, pop up and then I guess we can finish with Keats after that, and then maybe one more from your lovely book, I guess.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Let's
Is
do a
there,
pop up. Do you want me to start
yeah,
it or would you
yeah.
prefer?
Yeah, we did. So it's you again.
Yeah, we've done two.
This is potentially
This
the
is
finale
trois.
of the
Do you like that
third.
I'm using my French?
It's very good.
Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Oh, that's good too.
Oh, I am
Very
trying.
good.
I'm not
Oh,
very good at French, but I'm giving it an effort at this particular moment, but we'll
A
see
for
all the
effort.
time. It's my effort.
Mm.
Okay, so I'm going to start our new poem a little different from the last ones.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay,
Sure
let's
am.
see. Okay, get ready and just be ready to go. Okay. Rat-a-tat-tat, a-tat-a-tat-tat.
The bluebird. Oh, sorry. The bluebird yelped and sung. Oh, I hate that word. I can't get it right. Yeah. So there's the the bird. Well, okay.
Sorry, this is
We have to scratch it. We have to scratch it because
no.
I. But I
Rat-a-tat-tat.
still want to do the same. I still want to do the same words though.
Okay.
The bluebird yelped out in a mighty chirp.
But the woodpecker was not happy and decided to say, a la la la, a la 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 la.
Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. The bird went. That's it.
Yeah, that is great. I'm trying
That's
not
good.
to
And
burst out laughing. If you're
me
watching
too.
on
Me
the
too. Because if
YouTube, I
I
just had to
do
like
it,
hide my mouth because I'm like, what did I just say? What did I
yeah,
just do? What did I make Nikola respond to?
that's exactly what I was just about to say.
I know. You did fantastic. You
Yeah,
did. You're
it was
amazing.
good. That
You've
was a
been
good
reading a
one.
lot of poetry yourself lately. Do you have a little piece you might want to share after?
Oh,
Like a little magical
maybe.
world piece?
Oh yeah, maybe I have something. Well, magical world, maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe,
Okay. Well, just
maybe.
think about it as we're doing things and stuff. And like,
Yes.
I would love for you to come on and share because I know that you've been writing a lot of poetry lately. And
Yeah, I've been using it as a therapy for myself because
yeah, that's just
it's.
like John Michael said, right?
Oh yes, it's true. You're right.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
is
therapy of putting it out there, right? But never sharing it. So I want you to share if you have anything. And even if it's not even a magical world, Nicole, you should share it.
yeah, okay. I can definitely do that. Oh, there's one that's yeah. Yeah, I have a short one
Oh,
that's
let's
a
do
magical
it.
world.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So it's just a couple lines.
Perfect.
There's no title.
Okay.
Um, and if you guys think there's a title, let me know what I could possibly name it. A manifested forest, trees going upside down, and the tulips go on forever. A place more beautiful, none whatsoever. That's it.
Oh, I like it. Manifested forest, the tubes go on and on,
The trees go upside down,
upside down. And then what was the next line?
and the tulips go on forever.
The tulips go on forever. Okay, I heard tubes. Then I was like, got into a space vibe.
No
It's like
problem.
there are tubes in this forest. That's beautiful, Nicola.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's a
I was just
very
looking down at
lovely
my screen
poem.
here, so sorry.
A
Yeah,
lovely little poem. Thank you for sharing.
no problem.
See,
And I really
not
like
so
them.
hard.
No, it wasn't hard at all. It's just I have to find it. That's the difficulty as we do this live, so to speak, you know.
Right, I know. We're just like, we need to find something right now.
Yeah, we're just trying to
Um,
wing it as fast as possible. Doing it quick.
okay, so you're gonna read a John Keats piece, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, this is
he died very young. I think he
oh,
was
I didn't
like,
know that.
yeah, because he died, I think he was like 20 or something like that when he
Okay.
died. Maybe less. Like
Wow.
he never, like I can't
That's
remember
eye-opening.
yeah, the history behind him, but I know that gosh, he must have died. He must have been like 17 or 18, I think.
Oh wow.
From what I
I see.
remember, I could be completely wrong, but I remember him to be a very young poet. I remember he wrote Ode to the Grecian Urn, and it was like this beautiful young person's perspective of what beauty stands for. I think we actually talked about this in our first podcast.
I think so.
Yeah, and like it's just really interesting to like to hear the voice of a very young person that's, didn't actually carry on with their life,
Uh-huh.
and I
Yeah.
don't know how he died or anything like that. I'll have to look it up later. But
Yeah,
I'm
same here.
certain he was a very young person when he died. So do you want to share a little bit about what your piece says?
Yeah, well, there's not it's a ballad and it's just a um it's more about um like Keats he's really all about like telling a story and telling he has a fantasy world mind as a poet. Not he's not one of those people who are like I'm just going to write love poetry or I'm going to write a poetry about trees all the time. No, he was a guy who was had a vivid imagination, seemed like. So, and he was always obsessed with stories and stuff like that. So, and he still has like the same obsessions like everybody else, like, love and obsession and death and all those types of things.
Oh,
And
he's a romantic,
yeah,
right?
he's part of that romantic
Absolutely. He was
time
considering all
period.
those, yeah, thinking about humanity and their thoughts, right? Rather than just thinking
Exactly.
about like, sacred things. It was more secular perspective.
Yeah, exactly. And like this one is just about like a medieval knight and
Oh, I already love it.
and like him this knight going through the countryside and he meets a fairy woman thing, which is like the Belle Dame or whatever.
So
Uh,
what's the title? Sorry.
oh, it's called La Belle Dame sans Merci, which is like the beautiful lady without mercy.
Ooh, same.
So it's like I was trying to search for things and it goes everywhere. So it's a interesting ballad.
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and paling, loitering? The sedge has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so woe begone? The squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest done. I see a lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fever dew, and on thy cheeks a fading rose, fast withering too. I met a lady in the meads, full, beautiful, a fairy's child.
Wait.
Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, and fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love, and made sweet one. I sat her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. or sidelong would be she bend and sing a fairy song.
Hmm.
She found me roots of relish sweet and honey wild and manado, and sure in language strange she said, I love thee true.
Hmm.
She took me to her elfin grot, and there she wept and sighed full sore, and there I shut her wild eyes with kisses for. And there she lulled me asleep, and there I dreamed, ah, woe betide, the latest dream I ever dreamt on the cold hillside. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all. They cried, La Belle Dame sans Merci, thee hath in thrall. I saw their starved lips in the gloam, with horrid warning gaped wide, and I awoke and found me here on the cold hill's side. And this is why I sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, though the sedge is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. So, so you see, like it's like
I
like it was kind of a trick in a way. Like he kind of took this plain old landscape that he was kind of going through
mm,
and made this story, this night, and then he comes back to sort of realization at the end of like what he was doing to get through this area.
I think this is absolutely romantic and beautiful.
Yeah, like
And it
he was trying to
captures
make something. Yeah,
captures everything that I love into a poem. And I'm enthralled. I want John Keats. Can you come here now? Where are you? Can
yeah.
you
There you
like
go.
appear in your ghost form?
Yeah,
Because
for
this
sure.
is so absolutely beautiful. And you're right. I
And
think like he probably took it like a regular situation like into something
I think that's what
stunning
he
and
does, and
beautiful.
he turned it into another world. Like it's like two worlds. It's actually a two. To me, it felt like it was a two world thing. Like he was building a world upon another world that's already there, but they're both
Absolutely.
coexisting. I don't know. I
Don't
think
you build worlds? Do you not build worlds in your mind?
for sure, for sure. But this
Yeah.
guy, but he put him on a page, and he put it out for
Mm.
people to read, and then having that skill to uh go through how he wrote it. It's just so cool. And as I now just read it out loud, like
Mm.
I see how he used that tool to um and put it in a song or in a ballad. Like it's interesting. I think that's why I kind of
Has this been sung before? Do you know if it's like been sung?
that I'm not
Because
sure, but
ballads are meant to be sung, are they not?
yes, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
So
like the
that's
old
something I'll
timey
look
version of a
into.
musical pop song.
Yes,
Right? Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
I would love to hear this song. I'm sure it has been.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it has to be.
I'm
It
just
has to be.
ignorant of the fact right now, but it's just like,
But like
I don't
he's
know if
just
it's the
yeah.
old timey language or it's just like the cadence of the poetry or what it is, but it's just I'm in love with this, right?
Mhm.
Like I have a hard time um finding newer pieces that I am in love with. Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it might just be because I've read like this stuff. And it doesn't mean like the things nowadays don't have the same kind of energy or the same kind of beauty. It's just maybe I'm just like in love with the language, you know?
Oh,
And
okay.
the language, the structure, um, the
Because you
ballad.
understand the
Like
structure. Because you
who writes
understand the
ballads
structure.
anymore, right? Like
Yeah.
who writes a
Yeah.
ballad? Who writes a sonnet? Who writes a haiku even? Like who
Hmm.
takes the time to find structure in their work? Like I'm not a structural poet.
Hmm.
I am a freestyle poet. I'm a very modern type poet. I will take the time to create different things like this. It's just not in my nature, right? To just like pop these things out. I've met poets that do that, and I'm just always like, whoa, blown away by them. But this is a fabulous choice.
No, thanks. Yeah, it's a nice
Absolutely
poem.
amazing. Oh, I just love it. I love it. This is such a good topic. It's my absolute favorite, you
There'll
know?
probably be another part
Like I have
for
my book
sure.
of worlds here because I have all these
Yeah, there you
different
go.
worlds. And they are like representative of reality, but also representative of non-reality, and everything becomes something else. And then we live in these magical worlds, you know?
Hmm.
I do have a piece that I've never shared, I don't think, live.
Okay,
And it's
that's
a little
cool.
bit longer. It's very rhymey. And
Let's cap it off with that. That's so cool.
yeah, you good with it?
Yeah, I'm good with
Okay.
that. That's great.
Okay, that's cool. Um, it's in my book, the Forest Dweller book. Uh,
Nice.
and this piece is very much like the creation of a world that exists in my mind, and it's called the Twisty Place. So I have a forest world in my mind. And when I was writing this book, I honestly, because I have like many different worlds. I'm not just a forest, like I like Forest Dweller, but I think my next book will be called Nighttime Butterfly because I
I know.
love the night, right? It'll be probably a little more sinister, a little darker, but this particular one's focused on this land that I've created in my mind, right? Um, which is twisty and scary, and there's things going on in there, right? So this is a piece called The Twisty Place. Did you read this one?
Yep.
I think you must have. Maybe, if you've gotten there at this point. But if not,
Yes.
welcome to the Twisty Place.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You have a formal welcome, sir. Come on in. Come on
Fantastic.
in. Come on in. Try not to die.
Okay.
The Twisty Place. You come with me to the Twisty Place, a place that I know well. It's what's within this twisty place that lingers in the smell. I squat beneath the gnarled branches almost on my knees. I smell the giant coming. Quiet breath. Breathe. You lay upon me and hide me well. You are made of branches too. You place your lips over my sound and breathe all of me into you. It's quiet now within the gnarled trees, within the twisty place. When you place your weight on top of me, I feel the eternal space. The branches from the twisty place crept slowly into you. They grasped into your stomach and they twisted and they grew. The twisty place is dangerous. It holds compiled lore. It's full of sinister goblin plans, black masses through the core. Under you, I can feel your strength to keep your breath on me. The branches sewed into your eyes so that you could not see. Next, they flipped your body in such a subtle way that you did not recognize that you returned from me that day. With my body pressed into the ground and your stitched eyes looking straight, you thought you were looking into me, but you were looking into weight. I tried to scream, but I could not. The sound was pressed inside, for your head had filled my mouth with skull, and silently I cried. I knew the force had twisted you. I could not tell you so. I lay sinking slowly into the ground, waiting for a gentle snow. The snow I knew was magical. It would unsew your bloody eyes. It would heal you from the outside, and you would hear all of my cries. So there I lie in muck and goo, bugs crawling through my hair, and I managed to twist my head around and gulp in some twisted air. I wiggled my body and I sent you love, and I knew that the force was dense, that you had given me all your breaths, that you had come to my defense. I managed to pull out one arm, and I raised it to the sky, and with a palm faced up, I chanted magic, and I began to scribe. In a vision, I saw all of time. I knew this world was flawed, that if we were to be trapped within it, then we must become its god. Out of the sky, the snow did fall. It flitted into your eyes. Each crystalline snowflake undid those wretched towels. You slowly turned toward me, looking in horrified dismay, not realizing that the trees had flipped you. You sobbed on me that day. That's the twisticles.
Very twisty. Very cool.
That's
Wow.
your
That's a lot
comment.
to digest.
Okay, I'll
I
take
like
that.
it. I like
I
it.
like that you are speechless.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what just happened. Exactly. Wow.
That's one
So
of my
that's why
favorite
everybody should,
poems.
yeah, so that's why everybody should go and get that book. Very good.
That's one of my longer pieces. I'm not a long poet writer, but sometimes I do. And they just come. Like that one just was like bam, 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 bam. Do you know what I mean? Like it just
Oh,
popped out of my
okay.
brain pretty quickly. I actually like deleted a couple stanzas at some point. I didn't like them, and so I got rid of them.
Oh, okay. So you
Yeah,
see, wow, well, behind the curtain of how
that's
you
it. Behind
wrote
the curtain. Are you behind the curtain?
it.
I think, Nicola, we
Yes.
should end with one more pop-up poem.
Okay, that's fine.
And then what should we do? Should we just end it?
Yep. Then we can just end it. And
We're
then
gonna
people
pop-up
can
poem, and then we're gonna be like, see you later.
say it later,
See you
alligator.
in a different, see you later.
That's it.
Can you talk to me in like that old 20s voice again? That was great.
Oh, what's that
You
again?
just went like, see you later.
Oh,
Like,
see you later, alligator.
see you
See you
later, alligator.
later.
After a while, crocodile.
After a while, crocodile.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna go get me. I don't know. I'm not good at
It's
that
been a
accent.
while, crocodile.
It's been a while, crocodile.
There you go.
What's the difference? I read like a thing. It was like, what's the difference between an alligator and a crocodile?
I don't know.
One says see you later, and one says after a while.
Oh, that's
Really
yeah,
cheesy and so bad.
yeah. Jesus.
Oh
Okay.
my
Well,
God.
we have
Okay,
to
let's pop up poem it. You can
yes.
laugh at my horrible jokes.
I'm speechless.
You're like, why am I here?
Why?
Like,
Why?
if you can see Nikola right now, he's like, what the actual hell?
What is actually the hell going on here?
But also, I think he's happy. People, I think he's a happy guy.
I'm
Or at
smiling.
least happy in
People
that
are listening.
particular moment. All right,
Yes.
let's do a pop-up poem. Do you want to start it
Okay.
or shall I?
Sure.
Who
You can
started the
start it.
last one? Oh, I did because I did the rat-a-tat-tat. Remember?
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
Uh,
before we do this pop-up poem, I just want to say thank you to everybody that sent their pieces in. The two people, we did have just a two, I think. I think a couple other people were like interested, but these two actually sent their stuff in.
uh-huh.
And so we would like to thank Lauren Sharhag and John Michael
Absolutely.
for taking the time to send their work in and put themselves out there and be vulnerable with their pieces. And we also read some John Keats, and we did not read Christina Rossetti, but we did read Samuel Coleridge, and we read a couple pieces by me, and Nikola actually had a piece as well.
Yeah.
And so we will put this all into the notes if you're interested in finding it. And let us know what you think. We want to know what you think. We're not certain of our
Exactly.
next episode yet.
No, but you guys will all find out.
You will. You'll find
Yeah.
out.
There we go.
Okay. Let's do a pop-up piece.
Let's do it.
Pop-up poetry.
How about poetry?
By Terriann Walling and
Nikola Ragus.
like entire man.
Just a little, but it's okay. And then it's gonna go with this line. I'm slowing down the tune.
I'm slowing down the tune, yet the siren sings so loud.
Wee-oo, wee-oo, wee-oo.
Let's see what you did there.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hard to deal with, right? Okay, I'm slowing down the tune, yet this siren sings so loud. Wee, wee, wee. We shall go into the forest and grab a fairy. What are we gonna do with the fairy? Let's make this poem a little longer. We shall go into the forest and grab a fairy.
We
If they
trapped
let
the
us.
fairy. We trapped the fairy in a bottle.
But he manages to break out.
And managed to fly around our heads and then enchant us with a spell.
Oh, I like that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done. Nice closing line.
So that's a good
All
one.
right.
And
Okay, we did it. That was
we did it.
episode 4 of Speak It Slant. If you didn't catch 3.5, you probably should because it was horribly awesome.
Yeah, exactly. A bit of the beginning of that sentence and the end of that sentence. Horribly bad. It was good. It was
Oh no, it's great.
horribly good. Horribly good. That's what you said.
I
Horribly
had
good.
so much fun with that one. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
the end of Speak It Slant episode 4. We really want to hear your thoughts and what you think. And if, like anything, like if we got a bunch of stuff wrong, which we probably did, please just like write it in the comments and let us know. Send us some stuff if you want it ready, if you have ideas for podcasts in the future. That'd be really cool.
Thanks,
And I
everybody.
think, yeah, checking out with go find some fairies and don't put them in bottles. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Speak your truth, but speak it slant.